Starting off the October haul video with something I actually got in September. This was something I got right after I finished uploading the September haul video, and that's Heaven Official's Blessing Volume 4, or Tongwan Sifu by MXTX, Mo Chang Tong Shu. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. But again, these editions put out by Seven Scenes are beautiful, and this is the infamous making out cover that a lot of people were like, oh no, I can't just pretend they're friends anymore in front of my parents, which I thought was very funny, because if you need to worry what your parents are thinking, you probably are too young to be purchasing this volume. And then up next we have two used books. This first one was purchased through eBay, and it is Koyomi Monogatari Part 1, and this is one of the final volumes I need. After this I only needed two more to complete my set for this light novel series, and for what I paid, I am super pleased with this condition. The sticker on the back is something that can be removed with some Goo Gone and a bit of patience, and the shelfware on the corners is pretty minor, especially for volumes like these that tend to get a little bit beat up pretty easily. And then the second one was a package from Abe Books. The order came from a Goodwill somewhere in the US. And then, oops, sorry, I knocked my little guys over here. That is going to be a volume of What Did You Eat Yesterday by Fumi Yoshinaga. This is a series I'm slowly picking up. I'm trying to get it for like 50% of cover or less, just because it is fairly long, and it's not something I'm like super like in high need to pick up the volumes ASAP, because it is fairly episodic from what I have read, and I'm very excited to have this volume 5 here in my collection. Again, the condition this came in is phenomenal for what I paid, so overall, two really great used books pickups. I have a still image here of volumes I picked up from a local library sale. All of these volumes have since been sent to new homes, none of them stayed in my personal collection. First up we have Flower of Life volumes 1 and 2 from DMP. This is a defunct publisher, or at least that's what it looks like. They might be doing some small things in the background, but they're not a huge player in the game right now. This series is complete at 2 volumes and is put out by Fumi Yoshinaga, best known currently for their series Oku. Next we have Please Save My Earth. This is volume 21. Mangaka is Saki Hiwatani, and this was put out by Shoujo Beat. This series is currently out of print physically and is unavailable in that format. Next we have Red River volumes 8 and 23 by Chie Shinohara. This is another series put out by Shoujo Beat that is no longer available physically. Next we have Swan by Kyoko Ariyoshi. This is volume 15, put out by defunct publisher CMX. This series never finished its run in English and is incomplete. Next we have Eyes, volumes 11, 12, and 15 by Masakazu Katsura. This was put out by Viz and is supposedly out of print, but Viz has been reprinting a lot of stuff recently, so we may see a reprint of this in the future. And then next we have the Phoenix Rice Ace Attorney Official Case Book 2, The Miles Edgeworth Files, based on the game by Bandai. This was put out by defunct publisher Del Rey. Then we have the Gurren Lagann manga adaptation adapted by Kotaro Mori. This was put out by the defunct Bandai publication. And then next we have Gundam Seed, Volume 2, art by Masatsugu Iwase, put out by Bandai. And then we have Rosehip Zero Volume 4 by Toru Fujisawa, put out by Tokyopop. Fujisawa sensei is best known for his work GTO, or Great Teacher Onizuka. Next we have the original English release of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, put out by Viz. This is volume 7. The story by Hirohiko Araki that was originally brought over is known as Part 3, or Diamond is Unbreakable. The next volume is Beat the Vandal Buster, with art by Koji Inada with story by Riko Sanjo. This was under the Viz Shoujo Beat line, and this is another series that was never completed in English. Then we have the Trigun Maximum Omnibus Volume 4 by Yasuhiro Naitao. This was published by Dark Horse and DMP and is currently out of print and unavailable in English. Following that is the largest series haul in this set. It's going to be Initial D, Volumes 2, 4, 5, 7 through 14, 16, 18, and 24. The story by Shuichi Shigeno and is published by Tokyo Pop. The series is currently owned by Kodansha for its English distribution and is only available digitally. I hope you guys enjoy this picture. It was sent to, a few of these were sent to other manga tubers, so you may have already seen them be unboxed on other people's channels. But yeah, this was a wonderful sale from my local library. I discovered upon talking to them that these were volumes that were donated to the library when a local comic book shop went under. So please support your local comic book shops because you never know what you're gonna find there. Next up is going to be a pre-order from Barnes & Noble, another one from the 25% off pre-order sale. It's going to be the first volume for the light novel of The Case Files of Jeweler Richard. We're getting both the light novel and manga adaptation for this series out of 7 Seas. I was happy to see it because this was one of my submissions for their monthly survey. But moving forward, I think I will be picking up most of my light novels digitally, just because I am very low on shelf space, and if I want to read it, I'm not really worried about pictures since it is, as you can see, mostly words. Again, really happy with this. The spot gloss, it looks nice, but yeah, hope to see you in the next clip. Coming up is gonna be another pre-order, and this sucked. I hate when that happens. I was just like, oh my god. But at least the second pull tab here opened. This was another discounted pre-order from Barnes & Noble, and that's going to be Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Volume 6. Loving the series so much. And I opened it up here just because I opened this the same time that everybody's freaking out over the Italy prints for the Bokuaka box set. So I was like, did this get printed in Italy? I don't know. But it was printed in the US, so it's like, oh, excellent USA printing, I guess. I don't know. I don't really get the fuss. If it's smaller, that means it takes up less space on your shelf, man. More space for more books. Anyway, Frieren, Volume 6. Here we are with my first ever package from Alibris. I've heard mixed reviews about this site, mostly positive, but a few negative regarding shipping processes where some books will be loose, but I was pretty happy with how this arrived. Everything was really secure, as you can see in the box, and nothing was damaged in transit. This order was to close up and catch up on series that I already own, and that is going to be the Zoku Owari Monogatari and the Owari Monogatari Part 1 novels from Nishio Isin. This is a vertical release, and this will finish up my collection for this novel series. Really excited to get around to reading it. As you can see, these releases are fantastic. This is everything that we have in English. There are more Monogatari series out in Japan that are more like side stories instead of focused on our main protagonist here in these stories, Araragi. But I haven't seen any news that we're going to be getting those side stories in English. So for now, I'm very happy with what we have out from Vertical with these prints, as well as the beautiful the fact they've included all of the artwork on the interior is wonderful. And then next up is a couple Yen Press releases, the Shoharu Sono, Sasaki and Miyano Volume 6. This is gonna catch me up to current, and just wonderful printing. I like that they include the little extra comic on the front, on the interior of the cover, which is always a nice touch. Then next up is going to be Can't Stop Cursing You, Volumes 2 and 3. This gets me up to what we have out in English. This is a 4-volume series completed in Japan. Hopefully we get Volume 4 with the release schedule that I looked at for these other volumes. We got everything about a year a little bit over a year after they were released in Japan. So with volume 4 being released in April of 2022 in Japan, we should hopefully see volume 4 come out in English. Hopefully like maybe April to June of 2023. I'm really crossing my fingers because I had a lot of fun with volume 1, and with these coming in time for spooky season, I can't wait to catch up with what we have out. Okay, so I got a couple volumes from a friend this week, and these are the Japanese volumes for the manga adaptation of the 2013 anime Kill la Kill. Saying that it came out in 2013 and is going to be turning 10 years old next year makes me feel ancient, but these manga adaptations were by Ryo Akizuki with original story by Trigger and Kazuki Nakashima, with supervision over the manga's creation by Kazuki Nakashima. I don't know if these ever came to the West, but I was very excited to get these Japanese editions. I'm now only missing the final volume 3 of this, which I'm hoping I'll be able to find maybe when I visit a few bookstores when I eventually get back to Japan. But otherwise, this is a shonen series, so there's furigana, which makes it a little bit easier for those learning how to read Japanese. I was so thankful to my friend for feeling like he wanted to give these to me. Now let's go over all of my in-person purchases for the month of October. Everything here was purchased from my local comic book shop, Dragon's Lair, Hawaii. This is going to be the first one, that's Adam the Beginning. This is my first ever volume from Titan Manga, and it's a pretty nice size. It's the same size as the smaller trim from Seven Seas. I will be switching to digital for that series though, since it is 17 volumes and ongoing in Japan. Next up is Dandaran by Yukinobu Tatsu. This is the first volume, and I had been reading this digitally, but I love it so much that I wanted to start picking up the physicals when they announced that it was coming out. And here we see there's some nice color pages on the interior, and then the standard Viz notice on the back with a little clip of the characters, which is always fun to see. Next up we have Last Gender. This is a release from Kodansha. Kodansha and Vertical started labeling all their stuff the same, so stuff that would have previously been labeled Vertical now has the Kodansha label on this side as well, even if on the back it says a Vertical release, since they're basically the same company at this point. Here I'm covering some tibbies. The color pages in here are really nice. This was plastic wrapped when I picked it up, and it is plastic wrapped for a reason. I'll be going over that in my reading log if you want to hear some more. Next up is Sky Grazer by Masukazu Ishiguro. This was a pickup based on the cover and just the really weird description. I also really enjoyed the art. I did do a quick read of like the first 20 or so pages and enjoyed what I saw, so I figured I'd give it a shot and pick up the first volume. Then is She Loves to Cook and She Loves to Eat by Sakaomi Yuzaki. This is a sweet slice of life about two women who grow closer as basically food buddies. I talk about it a bit more in my reading log if you want to go check that out. This is a yen press release, and there's going to be a live action, which is going to be super fun. And then we have Black and White Tough Love at the Office. The original Japanese title is just Kuro Toshiro, but we already have a title like that in English, so they probably had to add Tough Love at the Office to differentiate. This is a very abusive girls love series, so if you're not into that, then this probably isn't for you. This is a 7 Seas release, but it is large trim. And then is going to be my only hardcover pickup this month. I'm not a big hardcover fan, but these Girl from the Other Side hardcovers that 7 Seas put out are just absolutely stunning. I couldn't not get it this way. I'd been debating picking it up because I really enjoy the series, but these hardcovers are just so beautiful, and they did a fantastic job, and I'm so excited to get volumes 2 and 3 of these when they come out. But yeah, that's everything I picked up in person, except for a non-fiction pickup, and this is gonna be Filth and Grammar by Shelley Bond with Imogen Mango and Laura Hull. Imogen. This is from Off Register Press, and this is just a book about what it is like to be an editor in the publishing industry, and it sounded super interesting, so I'm really excited to give this one a read. But yeah, that's going to be it for in-person pickups for the month of October. I'm a liar and forgot everything I got the first week of October, all still from Dragon's Lair. First is going to be Imaginary by Niro Ikuhana. This is a slice of life title, romance, pretty solid overall. I talk about that and Night of the Living Cat, both in their own video, Night of the Living Cat in its own video, and Imaginary in my reading log, which is linked somewhere else in this video. And then came the worst thing I read this month, which was The Summer You Were There. So it's a UD romance slice of life thing that I could not stand. I go into a little bit more in depth in my reading log, so please feel free to check that out and hear me just totally roast that title. Anyway, that's it from Dragon's Lair. Let's go over the final packages I got during the month of October. First is going to be Marg Reads Manga. I got a lovely bookmark that she included when I ordered the Manga Freakathon Glow in the Dark sticker. I participated in this year's Freakathon hosted by Marg and Bizarre Individual. I didn't do too great, but I at least got one bingo line, so that's what I got going for me. And this sticker glows in the dark and it's super cute and it's already on my trolley. And then speaking of Bizarre Individual, I would like to blame him for this because I believe I heard him talk about it in a stream, and that is going to be the Cornered Mouse Dreams of Cheese. I picked this up through eBay used, which is pretty surprising. Also, I don't know what happened to my scissors here. They're pretty good scissors otherwise, so whatever. But it's going to be The Cornered Mouse Dreams of Cheese by Satono Mizushiro, and this is going to be a BL title out of 7 Seas, and it's supposed to be messy, and I'm so excited. Also, this is brand new. The only thing is the remainder mark on the plastic. Pretty wild, because I got this for like $5. But this is going to be everything for the month of October. If you liked what you saw, please hit subscribe, give the video a like, and I hope to see you in the next one.